going? So today I'm doing a real quick video update of the Plant Paradox diet. It's been 8 months since we've been on it, and it's been a long time since we've done a review. So I'm going to give you my review. I'm going to tell you what's changed, in my opinion, since the first video that we did. So we'll get right into that. Before we do, I just want to say I do have a copy. We just got this the other day of the new recipe book that Dr. Gundry has written. And I think it comes out officially next week, so sometime starting next week or the week after, we'll do some reviews of the recipes and tell you, we'll make some of them that look good to us, and like we do in the past, we'll tell you if we give them a thumbs up, they taste good, or not. So, first of all, I want to make it very clear, I still strongly recommend this book to anyone with an autoimmune disease. Just like we did in our first video, you know, it has helped both of us and both of our autoimmune diseases immensely. I felt better in 20 years. I felt better in the last 8 months than I have in 20 years. I have tried dozens of other diets, medications, and everything else. This diet has made the biggest impact. For Jan, I think she forgot she even had arthritis because it's just gone for her. Do I believe it's a magic diet that's going to solve every problem? No. We just recommend it to people with autoimmune diseases because that's our personal experience. If you want to talk about science, we have a different discussion. And this is where my opinion has changed. Initially, I felt like this book was based on a lot of solid science. But my opinion has changed on that. And this was just my own misinterpretation of what I read in the book. The book has a lot of science in it, but you know, the more I've learned about lectins, and a lot of people out there have sent me, you know, links to, you know, other people being critical of this diet, saying, you know, it's a whole scam and lectins are fine and all this other stuff. A lot of people send me the link to Dr. Greger from nutritionfacts.org's review of this book. The funny thing is I already followed Dr. Greger long before this book came out, so I'm actually a fan of his work. So, you know, and what changed is my initial reaction to Dr. Greger's video is I was mad, I was irritated, I was upset that, you know, how dare he come out and talk about this diet as, you know, the way he does, and just sort of toss it off, because I felt like, you know, he's not listening to the people like me and my wife and the thousands of other people, all the people commenting on my channel who are saying this diet is helping them. But then through some conversations with people in the comments and other videos and things, I started to realize that Dr. Greger is just doing exactly what he said he would do, is stick to the facts, stick to the, you know, as much as possible, cut through all the crap out there and just stick to say, hey, this is what science has been able to prove so far, or this is the general scientific opinion. So I shouldn't expect him or anyone else like him to come out who has a whole site dedicated to the scientific side of nutrition to come out in strong support of this book, or even you know, take my personal testimony as scientific evidence, because that's just not the case. Even Dr. Gundry himself has said in interviews that I've seen, and you know, other things, that he thinks that, you know, there's a ton of research left to do. There's a ton of study that needs to be done on lectins and these other, you know, things that he talks about in this book. Apologize for the birds, but it's springtime, you know, the birds are happy, they're singing songs. So yeah, there's a ton of scientific research that still needs to be done. The reason why it doesn't bother me, though, why this book came out, despite the fact that it's not, you know, absolutely proven without a shadow of a doubt, is because that sort of thing takes years and years and years and years. I think 90% of this diet, almost any health or nutritionist professional would agree with, because it's just a healthy diet. You know, you're eating a lot of whole foods, plant-based, unprocessed, non-GMO, organic, all those sorts of things. I mean, you know, if you cut all of that out, this would be more like a pamphlet, because most of this book is just based on that same stuff. So it's the new things. It's this new concept of lectins and, you know, some of the, you know, current controversy over things like wheat grains and things like that, where science has still, you know, got a lot of research to do on those things. My opinion of, you know, when people, you know, try and rip apart this book for its, you know, pseudoscience is one of the words that gets used. I look at the science and I say, well, by definition, it is pseudoscience. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you. It just means that there's still a lot of research to be done. So, bottom line is, still highly recommend this book, especially if you have an autoimmune disease. The best way I like to say it to people is, look, if you're nervous about doing this diet, then don't do it. Just eat a healthy diet. Go out and, go to Nutrition Facts. Get caught up on all the latest, health, healthy foods and trends and benefits and what's been proven scientifically. Try that diet. Eat it like crazy. Stick to it 100%. If you still feel like crap, then, cut back that diet a little bit. Cut out a few things that have lectins and see if that helps you. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, then obviously lectins or the foods that contain them are not your problem. If you are, borderline thinking about doing this diet and you're, looking for, does it work? Just pretty much pick any of our videos. We've got probably 100 videos on our channel now. Pick any one of them and read the comments. Almost every video has personal testimony from people out there who have had wonderful results from this diet. I do want to talk about one thing. There's a huge misconception that you can't eat beans or tomatoes or a lot of other foods like that on this diet. That is simply not true. Anyone who says that has clearly not read this book. Is just trying to say, look, if you're lectin sensitive, avoid them for 6 weeks or longer if need be. And then once you feel better, once your leaky gut or whatever it is that's causing it, once your body's able to deal with lectins again, in other words, then, you can start adding some of those healthy foods back into your diet, like beans and tomatoes. But just to be extra safe, make sure your beans are fully cooked. Dr. Gundry always recommends pressure cooking because I believe that's the best way to guarantee that your beans are properly fully cooked. Which, despite, this diet or not, beans are one of the major contributors, or probably one of the biggest contributors to food poisoning, undercooked beans. So, cooking your beans fully should just be common sense anyway. And then tomatoes, you just have to peel and de-seed them if you're going to use them. But you can have tomato pastes and make all sorts of, tomato-based products as long as they are from tomatoes that have been peeled and de-seeded. That's the other thing. There's a big misconception that you're not allowed to eat fruit on this diet. That is not true. You can definitely eat fruit on this diet. And Dr. Gundry, on his blog and on his videos and things, talks about all the wonderful benefits from fruits. But, if you know his story, you know that he was obese at one point in time. And so he's highly concerned about, weight gain and too much sugar in your body and things like that. And, he's a cardiologist, so he's worried about certain things like that. So whenever I hear him talking about, limiting fruits or eating them like candy, that's what I'm really hearing, is he's just, saying, look, not all fruit is bad. It's just... It is kind of like candy. Everybody knows fruit has a lot of sugar in it, and so he's just saying, be responsible in eating your fruits. And I think one of the things is because when you go on a restrictive diet, you're going to go through withdrawals. If you don't, consider yourself lucky. If you want to see the withdrawals me and Jan went through, go back and watch our daily videos, our early videos, where we're posting daily videos. And you'll see the withdrawals we went through. And man, was I craving sweets. Was I craving fruit. And I could totally have seen, if Dr. Gundry hadn't drilled it in my head to be careful about how much fruit I eat, I would have gone from eating junk food to eating 90% fruit. Now, there are people out there who will say, well, Dave, there's nothing wrong with eating 90% fruit. And I would tend to agree with them. I think eating a lot of fruit is probably just fine. You're not going to die. Eating a 90% fruit diet is way better than eating a 90% fast food diet. Let's just be honest. So I get a kick out of when people get so nitpicky on things, but try and have a calm, cool, and relaxed attitude about this diet. It's not a religion. It's just food. So, it's just advice. That's all Dr. Gundry is giving me, is advice to say, just be careful about how much fruit you eat. Be conscious about it. So I do make a conscious effort. Jan makes a conscious effort, but we're not stressing ourselves over about it, thinking fruit is bad, we can't eat it. So bottom line is this. I highly recommend this diet to anyone with autoimmune disease, especially those who have tried other diets, other autoimmune protocol diets, any other kind of healthy eating, and really not had any success. That was our initial recommendation. That's still our recommendation. We know lots of people now, hundreds, and if I include the people on our channel that comment and tell us their stories, there's probably several hundred, maybe 1,000 at this point, I don't know. A lot of people who've had success from this diet. That's why I feel comfortable recommending it. One of my favorite things about this diet is the food is delicious. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We'd love to have other people subscribe because it motivates us to keep doing our recipe reviews. We love doing them. We love getting new recipes. We love having a new book. I have this new book here that's got a bunch of new recipes in it that we want to try. We'll continue pulling recipes off from other websites and other people doing this diet or other healthy diets, and we just we do the recipe reviews. We have a good time. Come join us. If you're new to the diet and you want to feel like you have somebody doing it along with you, go back and watch our old videos because we did daily videos. You can kind of compare your progress with ours, see what we were going through. But either way, we appreciate your support. We love the fact that you came to our channel to watch our ramblings on things, and we hope that you, whatever condition you're suffering from, whatever your health goals are, we hope that you achieve those and that you feel better and that you live a happy, healthy life.